Hi, my name is Courtney Smith, and I want to be a middle school teacher. I want to do grades 7 through 12, history and English. There's many things you need to do to be an effective teacher. To be an effective teacher, I think you need to come to work and be enthusiastic about your work. You need to be happy so the students see that you're happy about what you want to do. You need to have your day planned out so it goes well, and then you need to make sure that all the lessons are planned, and then to ensure your day is smoother, you have to have all supplies ready to conquer it. If you're missing something, that can make your day go rough. Always making sure everything understands that's being taught is important. I think that you should always remember the 5 C's: committed, caring, courageous, conscious, and centered when you're teaching students. There are different education philosophies when teaching students. You have to remember that each student is different. They might not all learn the same. I think the best way to help cater to the need of each student is by taking a style learning quiz, because there's 7 different styles of learning. If the students understand which way they need to learn, then it's easier for you to teach them. Or if they learn maybe auditory, then they can listen to the presentation rather than watch it. The question of my teaching philosophy is a difficult one for me. I think students learning is the most important thing, but I also think they should understand what they learn. Instead of just memorizing something to pass a test, which is what I feel like I was taught when I was in school, is here's this information, memorize it, pass a test. I never really fully took in anything and learned it, which I think that has a big effect on me now because I don't know how to do that. I want my students to take what they learn and apply it to what they're using in life, because I always stop myself and think, when am I going to use this in life? But I think I want to teach all my students that everything you learn is not going to go to waste. Nothing learned is a waste, and I want my students to understand that. While being a teacher, not everyone learns the same or is completely the same again. Some students might have learning disabilities that need to be dealt with. While growing up, we had many different types of kids in our classes, and some got to go to tutors if they needed extra time or help on tests. Some went to different rooms completely for the whole day. And if there are students that have disabilities, you need to figure that out. And meeting with the principal and parents of the child to discuss what can be done to help that is also very helpful. Providing them with extra time or a tutor can help accommodate to their needs, which is very important. You want to make sure all your students are comfortable and they're going to pass, and they know that they're going to get their help and they're not stressing out about it. And each time that you can accommodate to this is just to lift off the students' shoulders that they're going to get their help they need. Teaching different children from race, ethnicity, social classes, or language, different from your own. On my student observation, I'm with my teacher named Mr. Hall, and in his 5th period class, there's a girl from India. She's not a foreign exchange student, she moved here. So while he's teaching her, he takes a second and asks her if she's understanding and if she needs help explaining of anything. And while they're going through, they talk about our laws we have here, and he asks her what her laws are there, or how they're taught in their class versus what we're taught in our classrooms. And he kind of steps back and takes a minute and sees how she learns versus how everybody else learns. And I think that if there is maybe someone that you know is coming into your classroom, you can take a minute to maybe research what's different about them, so you know how to not push their boundaries. I understand I'll counter anything that's challenging, but I will make the right approach to understand it fully, maybe talk to them about it, making sure I'm not overstepping their boundaries by maybe showing a certain video if they have a different type of religion. Maybe they're Jewish and they don't celebrate Christmas. We always respected that growing up in our classrooms, and we never watched Christmas videos. And if a different language. So like I said before, you might have to just step back and take it a little slower for that student or ask if they need any additional help. Are there any aspects of schooling that you believe reflect and reproduce social stratification when goals, funding, and social justice? All students have different goals, but you must treat each goal with respect, even if a student might be on a different level of their goal than another student. And not everybody is going to go as fast or as slow as one. So one student might be already done with their goal, and one might be right in the middle with their goal. How can teachers best approach creating inclusive learning environments for all children that promote student learning and development? Teachers need to make everyone in the classroom feel included. I think the best way you can do this is by the way you set up your classroom. The way I would set up my classroom is I would want each, like all their desks, like 4 desks in a cluster. This way, children can learn the different cultures that other kids might have, maybe the religion, different things, like maybe snacks. Each student might have different homemade snacks, and you could always ask. And then I think showing off students' grades, their good work, is very motivational to another student. Like, I want to be up on that board. I want to be with everybody else. I'm going to include myself, maybe studying harder. Also giving, this is a big thing to me, is giving kids the creativity to make them feel included. Say, you're good at writing and I'm good at drawing, but you can get your point across with writing the project, and I can get my point across with drawing the project. I think we should be able to have our creative freedom, and I want my students to understand that you can do your project that way if that's how you can do it, because that's how they feel included. And to help students promote learning and development, offer office hours, which they can come in and visit after class if they need additional help. Maybe they have another question and they didn't get to ask it during class, or they came up with a question. They can meet you after school. You give them like a half an hour, or maybe there's a study hall time that any students can come in and see you. I feel like that can make them feel better about themselves and included. Maybe they're too embarrassed to ask the question during class. This can make them feel included because you're giving them extra time. Everybody deserves fair and equal chances, and being a teacher, you need to understand that. And if a student doesn't feel like they're getting an equal chance, then they're going to feel pushed back and they're not going to be comfortable in the classroom. And you want all your students to be comfortable. That's the goal in teaching. You want them all to be included and feel like they belong in your class and be happy about coming to your class and not dread it every day. Well, this is my presentation about teaching. Thank you.